Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Making It in Holland. If you click this video, chances are you're looking for a job here in the Netherlands because you want to work and move here. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm very much passionate about this topic. I made a video that's popping up on your screen right now a few months ago speaking about ways you can find a job here in the Netherlands as an English-speaking international person. And that video got a lot of attention and you reach out to me to ask me, well, can you tell us more about what it's like to find a job here? So I'm making this video especially for you, and today we're just going to sit down and have a chat, have a heart-to-heart, and speak about some of the harsher truths of finding a job here in the Netherlands. The first thing let's address, it's the elephant in the room. If you've been trying to apply for jobs here and you haven't really been getting far and you've been getting crickets, you know that it's actually a struggle for an international to find a job here. And with that out of the way, let's talk about some of the reasons why. Number one being that nowadays, actually Dutch recruiters are preferring Dutch speaking professionals and get them to integrate into the workforce. And when you think about that, it's not that strange that a country would want and support its own countrymen to get appropriate jobs. And that means as an international, you really have to stand out and have a unique edge so that you can actually score the job that you're after. So if you move here, or if you're already abroad and if you're thinking about moving here, I just want to let you know, don't have these illusions that finding a job here is a walk in the park, it's so easy, and that you're immediately going to get it. Chances are it's going to take a while, but that is okay. And I feel like it's my duty to let you know, because if you're watching my channel, I know you want to locate here and I want you to be aware of all the upsides as well as all the downsides. With that said, the second thing that I really want to share with you is do not give up. And what that usually looks like is sending anywhere between 10 to 20 applications, sometimes during the span of a day or during the span of several days as you find fit, and be consistent with that. Because when you do that, you will be getting some rejections, but trust me, if you're consistently sending 10 applications per day, you're going to be actually getting some interview offers, and that is your true moment to go and shine and show the recruiter and the company why you should get the job as opposed to another international or a Dutch person. Now, with that said, I know it sounds a bit overwhelming, like, oh my God, 10 applications per day, can I even find that many job applications? Really, genuinely check out the video that's in my description about finding English-speaking jobs here, because there I'm sharing with you a couple of websites that you can go every single day to find the jobs that you like, so you can actually prepare your applications and send them out accordingly. Honestly, I'm mentioning this because this is a hard-spoken truth. That kind of consistency is needed. Finding a job is, like I said, not a walk in the park. It takes hard work, consistency, and most importantly, it's a numbers game. Think about actually making a sale, right? Usually you have to reach anywhere up to 10 customers, and out of those 10 customers, one person will purchase something from you. So think about it in that perspective. When you're making a job application, when you send 10 applications, out of those 10 recruiters, aka customers, one will probably reach out to you and say, hey, we really liked your qualifications, loved your application, and we would love to invite you over for an interview. That brings me to another very important point. If people tell you that you don't have to speak Dutch to find a job here, they're like 80% lying to you, because by no means should you speak Dutch perfectly when you're applying for jobs, but then again, you should speak Dutch perfectly. Now you're wondering, what the heck does that mean? Let me explain. When you're moving here and you're an international who doesn't speak Dutch, unless you're specifically applying for very high level positions in international companies, aka companies that don't really care if you speak Dutch or not, then by all means you have no problems. But especially if you're a starter looking for jobs, you're probably going to stumble upon more Dutch companies than international companies, and when it comes to that, knowing English as well as knowing Dutch becomes very crucial. Now, if anybody tells you, oh, it's fine, like you don't really need to speak Dutch, you can find a job, it's not a problem, they're really not having this full perspective in mind that I have seen around me and that I've also experienced myself. Knowing Dutch, and especially being fluent in Dutch, is always going to position you a level slightly above anybody else that is applying for the same position with the exact same qualifications. Now, with that said, there are easy ways you can start to learn Dutch. If you check out some of my other videos linked in the description, you can see some easy ways you can learn Dutch. And if you're curious if Dutch is an easy language to learn or a difficult language to learn, make sure to check out this video because it's going to actually let you know what are some things that you should expect from this language when you actually start to learn it. Another thing that I get asked quite a lot is, well, I'm looking for a job here. What's better? Should I look for a job when I move here, or should I look for a job when I'm back home or when I'm in another country? Now here, there is definitely no one size fits all, although I can definitely tell you from my personal experiences that being here in the Netherlands makes the job hunt process a lot easier because you can actually attend those interviews on demand. You can actually meet up with recruiters, you can meet up with other professionals to really build your network. But if you're in the process of applying for a visa, whether you're a student or a young professional and you're still not here, definitely the number one tip that I could give you is to network with as many people as possible on LinkedIn, build that relationship so that you can already start sending applications to those specific people before you even move here. And when you eventually do end up moving here, you might be getting the job, you might not be getting the job, but at least you already have a network base of people that are readily available for you to meet up. And you know what? When it comes to the job hunt, the harsh truth I'm sharing with you is it's really about who you know. Especially here in such a tight-knit country like the Netherlands, every industry is very much like a mini ecosystem on its own, and everybody almost somehow knows everybody. So once you're able to break into a particular network that aligns with your own specialty and the career path that you have in mind for yourself, it's going to be so much more easier for you to penetrate and find those suitable jobs. And you know what? If that person you speak to doesn't have a job for you, or by any reason it gets rejected, chances are they're going to recommend you to somebody else within that same network, and it's going to increase the chances of you finding a job here in the Netherlands by, I dare say, like 110%. And another truth I want to touch upon is something that might not exactly be for you, but if you can afford to do it, and if you're in a relatively entry level in your career, actually consider volunteering and working for free to the people in the companies where you actually envision yourself having a long career. Now, one of my followers actually asked me not that long ago in a poll where I asked, what are some of your questions regarding finding a job here in the Netherlands? She said to me, it's like, I'm looking for a job, but I need the visa to get the job here, and I cannot apply for the visa because the company who hires me needs to apply to that visa for me. Actually, a good way to get around that is to get in touch with that company and tell them, hey, I'm really interested in your work. I would love to volunteer here for this amount of time, and go there, work for free, learn the tools of the trade, and then because like I said, remember the whole ecosystem thing? By volunteering, you're entering the ecosystem, which means the likelihood of you actually finding a job after this volunteer position in that company or in another company is going to be much higher. Definitely depending on which country you're from. Check out how long of a visa you need to come to the Netherlands. If I remember correctly, if you're in the EU and if you want to come here for a short period of time to do a specific kind of volunteer job, especially if you're not getting paid, that is allowed. Make sure to check the link in the description to see if that applies to your country or not. But especially if you're from the EU, and especially if you're from the USA, because of the DAFT agreement, there is some wiggle room there that you can work around to come here, actually meet the people, and then get the job. And I think that's definitely one of the best ways to approach it. And the last thing that I want to mention here is be careful which kind of recruitment agency you're going to be signing up with, because some recruitment agencies are going to take more of your paycheck in exchange to a job that they found for you, and vice versa. And it's very important to be mindful of how much that money is. Really important to learn all the terms and conditions of that contract that you have with the recruitment agency. Is it temporary contract? Is it 6 months? Is it 1 year? What are the possibilities of getting a permanent contract look like? Do they provide that? And how does that work once you actually get that job for a lifetime with the recruitment company when it comes to making payments to them? So these are all your rights as somebody who works here. And as an international, you might not be aware that you should be asking these questions, but remember, Dutch recruiters are direct. They will give it to you straight, which means you should also ask them right off the bat all the questions you have in your mind. Get things clarified around contracts and money matters, because that's just going to make life so much easier for you in the long run, and you're not going to be there sitting and having a guesswork. And more often than not, I don't like the recruitment agencies because of the fact that you're kind of tied to them for the future of your work. That's why I prefer much more going directly and applying to jobs in the companies that I see myself in a very straightforward way. But if you're in a very competitive field, going the route of recruitment and recruiters is a very, very smart one. But like I said, you have rights. You should actually follow up with every single question that you have regarding how it works with recruitment agencies. With that said, I hope this was a helpful video. I tried to keep it short and sweet and to the point. If you have any questions regarding finding a job here, please drop them down in the comments below. If you want to see more of this type of content, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really would mean a lot for me. It just pushes the video a little bit more to the people who would benefit from watching this kind of content via the YouTube algorithm. And if you actually enjoy my content, and if I've given you anything valuable through any of my videos, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next episode. And as usual, until the next time, don't forget to stay awesome.